Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Breakfast and Business, coming to you Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. UK time. Your opportunity to join an amazing community of people all coming together to have a conversation around specific topics. Every week has an overarching topic that's broken down every single day. Now, this is all part of an active community. So if you're in here, as you come in, let me know if you're live or on the replay, and also let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to connect with you. I love to know where we're reaching around the world so that we can connect, we can have a conversation, and I can help you even more. So thank you so much for being part of Breakfast and Business. There's a few things you need to know if you're brand new to Breakfast and Business. If you've seen this because someone shared it, or if a friend has invited you, or maybe you've just stumbled across it in the watch feed or on any of the feeds in the different platforms. What you need to know about Breakfast and Business is it's active participation. It's not just about coming and listening and watching. It's about taking action on the things that you're seeing. So I really want to encourage you today to get involved. Tell us whether you're live or on the replay. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Say hi. Tell us something that you want to know, something you want to learn. Let's get to know you a little bit better. Tell us what your business is all about as well down in the comments. I want to hear more about the people that we've connected to. Now, every week we have an overarching topic, but we break it down every single day into individual components that make up how to do that slightly better. So for example, this week is all about productivity, and every day has a topic that we dive a little bit deeper into. Monday, we talked about the importance of having a mindset for productivity. Good morning, Ella. Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Alex Shrimpton in the house. Good to see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Alex Shrimpton. This guy does an amazing broadcast pre-lockdown that was called Waterloo Wise Words, sharing some wise words from other people as he went through Waterloo Station on his way to work. Slightly different world, but I hear that it might be making a comeback. Good morning to my mum, the Go Live Granny. If you don't know her, Lynn Blackledge down there in the comments. Great to see you, Ella, over on Instagram as well. Remember, jump in, say hi, and let's get to know one another. So this week, it's all about productivity. Monday was all about the mindset. You have to look at productivity as a mindset. If you understand that approaching everything, every task, as you move forward in your life, in your business, you can approach them looking at, when did I set up these systems, processes, and tools, and how long ago was that? Has anything changed? Is there anything I could do slightly better? You need that mindset. So that was Monday. Tuesday was all about planning for productivity. In fact, yesterday, how many of you thought I was actually live at 8 o'clock? Because I wasn't. I was obviously sat running a conference, a brilliant diversity and inclusion conference run by the guys over at D&I Leaders. Incredible, talking about racial, gender equality, all of that kind of stuff. An amazing conference. But I used tools there to allow me to put out content at 8 o'clock in a style as if it was live. Thank you to StreamYard, the guys, Gage and Dan, doing an amazing job providing the tools to allow us to bring in people's comments, to broadcast, to share content that isn't live through a live feed, and push that out to different platforms. Instagram, really sorry for you guys. We did start the upload for you guys to get it at 8 o'clock as well, but it actually went out to you guys at like 5 p.m, something to do with an issue with the upload time. So really sorry for you guys. IGTV only, no live, because there's no way for us to push it out live to you at the same time. Today, we're going to talk all about the tools that you can use to raise your productivity. We're going to talk about all the tools you can use to raise your productivity. Tomorrow, we're going to talk all about repurposing for better productivity. So in the same way I created content yesterday, pushed it out as if it was live, I was using the tools, but I was also repurposing content. I was using some content I created ready for you in a different format. So we're going to talk about how to repurpose to increase your productivity tomorrow. Friday is all about better processes. So setting up great processes that will allow you to be more productive and to get more done. And then Saturday, please, if you get any value from anything this week, tune in on Saturday. We're setting you a productivity challenge. It's going to be something. Last time we did a challenge, we did a 7-day content creation challenge and social media marketing challenge, and the results we were getting were incredible. People getting like 90 responses to one post online, 1,633% increase in engagement. So when we talk productivity, we're aiming to raise your productivity by 400%. Now you need to be there on Saturday, be tuning in live, get involved. It's going to be active participation. I want to show you how quick and easy it can be to raise that productivity. Great to see Alex even managing to tune in on the train down for Waterloo. Wise words. Amazing. Sally Ann, great to have you in. Asa, great to have you in on the broadcast over on Instagram as well. Nice to see you. Don't forget, as you come in live or in the replay, let me know whether you're live or replay, and also where you're tuning in from. Always great to hear that. Now, also tell us what your business does. I can give you better advice and help you more if you tell me what your business does. Just drop something in the comments. It's not a pitch. It's just about letting me know so that I can gear the content better to the people who are tuned in on the live. Now, today we're talking about the tools. So Monday, we obviously talked about the mindset and looking at, well, when did I set up my systems, tools and processes for what I do every single day in all the different parts of my life and my business? And is there any innovation? Is there any change? Good to see you, Josh, on Instagram. If there has been a change, then we need to plan. We need to put a plan in place, what we talked about yesterday. Planning to allow you to show up even when you can't show up, to allow you to keep creating content, to allow you to keep pushing forwards. You have to plan. It's planning that will allow you to consistently show up, provide value, help people, build that ecosystem, build that trust equity we talk about. And yes, you guys on Instagram can probably already see, I'm going to step back for you guys. We are all geeks here at It's Nomad 9. This is today's t-shirt because we're all deep diving into the tools that we use. If you currently use a tool for a specific job within your business, when did you last assess if that was the best tool for your business? You have to be looking at, is there a better way to do it? Same as yesterday we were talking about planning. You have to have a look at ways that you can improve your processes and the tools that you can use to do that. Now I'm going to share some of my favorite tools for productivity with you, and part of them are process, part of them are specific tools, but we're going through this today to help you raise your productivity. Now you need to be listening carefully and attentively to the things I'm talking about, because we're going to be setting you a challenge on Saturday, and I can't wait for you guys to get involved and to raise your productivity, and then the next week to come back and report in and let us know how you got on. Let us know the improvements and the change that it's made to you. Now, of course, when we run these challenges, people do them for the time that the challenge is on, but I don't want you guys to do that. I know that you're better than that. I know that you can go and take this knowledge, this information, and roll it out consistently and thoroughly throughout your business on an ongoing basis. Once you learn something, you can't go back to unlearning it. You have to embrace it, and if you've learned how to do something better, it's going to push you forward and it's going to improve your processes and therefore the outcomes that you get within your business. I can't wait to show you how we're going to break that down on Saturday, something completely different for Breakfast and Business. And I can't wait to challenge you all for that on Saturday. Good morning, John Kellett. Good to see you in on the broadcast as well. Richard Fay, good to see you in this morning too. Hope you're all having an incredible time. See Rachel Wymark is tuning in, but I think she's in on one of the groups because I'm getting notifications from a group. So make sure that you do jump in, say hi, and we'll watch for the comments that are coming through. So please come over to the actual broadcast on Facebook. If you're watching in a group, click the actual video and jump into the real chat with everybody else so that I can see your comments. I'd hate for me to be missing any of those comments, so please do jump over. Now, today I want to talk to you about some of the tools that we use to raise our productivity, and some of them are going to be free, some are going to be paid, some are going to be low cost, and some are going to be a fairly substantial investment. But listen through why we use them and make the decision on whether you think it would work for you. This is why I'm asking you to share a bit about your business, because if you tell me what your business does, I can help you a little bit better. We've got a Spanish entrepreneur in. Drop your name in the comments, because some of the Instagrams are just handles. I want to get to know you on a personal basis. So let me know who you are and what your business does. I can see there's a clothing company tuned in on Instagram as well. Great to have you here. So it's really important to be getting involved as we share this process. Now, Kavithia, hi, good to have you in. Thank you so much for coming in. So I've got Josh here. He's getting a bit of inception watching on 2 different platforms here. Kate's running a vet practice. Amazing. These are all the different types of businesses that are going to be able to leverage these kinds of tools. Now, a couple of my first and most important, my most favorite, is that a thing? Yes, my favorite tools for increasing productivity. Now, for me, you might have noticed high energy, speak fast, very excitable as a character, and I want to share with you why I use these tools before I even explain what they are. So they're things that allow me to get more done in less time, so that productivity of increasing the amount of output I can have and also the amount of input I can have. So I use 2 very important tools that most of you, if you own one of these, a smartphone, it's not specifically Apple, but if you own a smartphone, you'll be able to do these importantly within your business, within your personal life, and it's going to speed up the process of getting things done. Now, before you think about using these, I need you to think back to, is there a better way for me to do things? If you send an email, how do you currently send an email? Where do you currently log in to do that? And it's important that you realize that you might not be doing it as efficiently as possible. And that's fine. It's not knocking you. It's not criticizing, but it's opening your eyes to a brand new opportunity to increase your productivity. So I want to introduce you to these two tools that sit already natively within your smartphone. So please do listen really attentively, really carefully, and then go and have a look for yourself. It's about listening, it's about taking action and putting these things into practice. So 2 of the tools I use, if I want to read something, those of you who have followed me for a little while will know that I'm not a big reader in context of picking up a book and reading it. Yes, I do read books, but I actually go through the process of listening to audiobooks far more than I do picking up books and reading them. The same applies to blogs and websites and things like that. I've found a way to suit my learning style. Now, some people love to read and that's the process that they want to follow. But for me, it's important that I work with my process. So everything I'm showing you, everything I'm teaching you, you have to apply to your own learning style and how you like to use things. So this morning, I want to show you how I use my time more efficiently. So there'll be plenty of times in the day where you're doing mundane tasks, where you're moving around, maybe you're doing the washing up. Maybe you're commuting, like Alex Shrimpton is currently on a train on his way into Waterloo. So there's time that is dead time. It's no extra time. It's net time. So time where you could leverage that and achieve something more than you are currently achieving. I really want to show you exactly how this works. So I'm actually going to try and get to a quick example here while I quickly load this up. I hope you've all had an incredible week. How is your week going on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being, oh, it's abysmal, can't wait for the week to be over. And 10 being, it's an absolutely incredible, phenomenal time. And I can't wait to do more of this. I want the week to carry on. I want this to roll into next week. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how amazing is your week? From a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that I'm struggling and 10 being it's absolutely incredible. So whilst I bring this up really, really quickly, so I'm going to show you in real time. Don't know how well this is going to go, but let me run you through how this can work for you. Now, I said that I want to increase my productivity on a whole range of different things, and one of those things is you often get sent an email or a report or a website that you discover, or you see an ad for something that you want to have a look through, but maybe it's interrupting you. Maybe you're in the middle of doing something and you think, I'll come back to that. Now, firstly, how well do you save it so that you can go back? Now, you might use bookmarks in your browser. You might use the save functionality within the various tools. But here's the thing. Once you've saved it and you go back, it's still going to take you the same amount of time. In fact, it'll actually take you longer than embracing it in the moment. And here's why. If you do it in the moment, you go straight to it and you do it. If you save it or you bookmark it, you have to proactively go. And whilst this doesn't sound like a lot of time, the odd 2 to 3 seconds on repetitive tasks can mount up to literally days over a year. I give an example of arranging the front of your smartphone to have the most important apps natively on the screen, increasing the amount of time that you have to do other tasks. And it sounds crazy, but a simple task like opening Facebook, that having it in a folder or not having it in a folder, that moves it from being 1 second to 3 seconds to open. If you cumulatively add that up based on average user data, you're literally looking at days of time in a year that you can shave off. So when I talk to you about something that seems to only be 1 or 2 seconds, please bear with me and let's go through the whole process and talk about it. For me, I use the bookmark tool probably more than I do the save functionality within the platforms. We also use a couple of things where I've got group chats, where I've created a group chat within WhatsApp, because I use web WhatsApp, because that means I don't have to pick up my phone and do it on here. It's on my screen. I can see it. I've got visual on it on my second screen on Messenger and on WhatsApp, and I can share those links into a specific chat that's called follow up or read later, or if there's something specific for a client, we might have a client chat where we can drop that in. And it's a place for me to go to get back to it. Now, bookmarking it and saving it, yes, it's still going to add a little bit of time in, but here's where you can claim that time back. So if you've put into the save functionality, or you've got it bookmarked and you go back to that content, why not go back and read that content, consume that content whilst you are in your net time, whilst you're traveling, whilst you're washing up, whilst you're moving some bits around the house? And if you own a smartphone, you should be able to do this, and it'll be different from phone to phone. So I'm not going to go through the technicality of how to do it, but you can get your device to help you out. If you've got like a Google Home or an Alexa or anything like that, you'll be used to hearing things being read back to you. But are you using it within your smartphone? If you've got a web page that you've saved that you want to go back to, bookmark it, save it, whatever, and then use the functionality within the device to get it to read it back to you. Same as a Google Home or an Alexa, or those kinds of things can help you out in the same way by asking them questions. Did you know there's functionality within your phone that will read you everything back? A lot of people don't realize this because these are accessibility functions for people who are partially sighted. So it's under accessibility options usually, and it allows you to get things read back. So it means you can literally have the page read to you, put your phone on the side and be doing something else. So here's how it works. I'm going to use an iPhone for this example. Obviously, I'm using Androids for the broadcast, and it's different from platform to platform. The tools are different, but they work on different platforms. Now on here, I'm just going to give you a quick example. If you're on an iPhone and you've turned the accessibility options on, it'd literally be 2 fingers, swipe down from the top, and I can get that now read back to me. So if I've bookmarked it.
No products in the basket, 0.00 British pounds. 0.
So you have to, give me 1 second.
No products in the basket, 0.00 British pounds. 0.
Let's quickly open this up. Where are we?
Removing the overwhelm from content creation, social media and live streaming. A passionate and experienced team of digital media professionals led by Chief Inspiration Officer Tristan Griffiths ImTristanG, focused on removing the overwhelm and making your life easier. A digital agency that really puts social at the heart, removing the overwhelm from content creation.
So what I'm doing is I'm allowing my phone to read it back to me. Now, it might have sounded fast, but that's the speed at which I listen and I consume content. I'm allowing the accessibility options to read me what's on the page. Now, it's not seamless, it's not perfect by any means, but whilst I'm doing something else, I can have those web pages, those reports, those white papers, those emails read back to me so that I'm not losing time by sitting there and doing it. And like I say, it's not seamless. It sometimes will do that. It also gives you a little bit of an insight on a lot of websites to how they're structured and how they've built a lot of the SEO side. So it's a really good thing to test and try even on your own website to see how you can consume that. So get that working. If you use an iPhone, it's accessibility options and it's text to speech, and literally turning on the functionality to swipe 2 fingers down from the top of the screen, it will read it back. Now when you're doing the laundry, when you're doing the washing up, when you're commuting, you can have that read back to you. Obviously, if you're on a commute, you're probably going to want to put headphones in. It's a bit weird for everybody else otherwise, but that's one tool that you can use. Now we're using text to speech. Let's think about that. It's a technology that's turning words, written words, into spoken words. Now let's flip it on its head. What happens if we turn spoken words into written words? Think about how many words you type or write in a day through your computer, through your smartphone, in emails, in status updates, in all sorts of bits and pieces, maybe even writing web pages or reports yourself. So let's flip those reports on their head. Let's flip those emails on their head. Let's flip the web pages on their head. And now you're on the other side and you're creating. We talk about documenting, not creating. So as you're documenting or you're creating this content, is there a better way to do it? Well, absolutely, there's a better way to do it. I'm going to show you really, really quickly how powerful flipping this on its head can be. So when you understand how powerful using your voice can be, you will increase your productivity a massive amount. So literally in the time that we have been talking, that is literally the phrase that I have just spoken to you. I'm going to flip it over here for Instagram as well. Obviously, it's going to be in reverse for you guys on Instagram, so sorry. I've literally just done that. So to prove to you that this wasn't pre-written, it's exactly the phrase that I just used. I'm actually going to do this live, which is going to be always a little bit nerve-wracking. But here we go. I'll show you how to do this and then I'll show you why you need to do it. So obviously I've got on my keyboard, I've turned on dictation. So in the iPhone, it's called dictation. You've got it in Android devices as well. I know because I've got two Samsungs that I'm using to broadcast right now. Now, when I do this, all you need to do is use dictation in order to write your words as you speak. So now think about using your mouth to write your emails. In the same way you might dictate or narrate something to a PA if you had one, this is like a PA in your pocket, right? So it is exactly like that. Let me quickly demonstrate that for you again so that you really understand this. Using dictation on your phone is like having your very own PA in your pocket. So using your voice. Now, why would we do that? The average person speaks at about 100 to 120 words per minute, and the average typing speed for most people is around about 40 words a minute. Yes, there'll be fluctuation. Yes, you might be a slightly faster typist, but think about it. If you can use that, you can literally, because it's native within the device, you can use it inside everything. You can use it in your emails, you can use it to write web pages, you can use it to write in your notes. So think about writing everything with your voice. Now, if you're typing at 40 words a minute and you are speaking at 120, even if there's a margin of error, you are going to make a massive increase in productivity to how you write things. It's going to change a little bit of your process. So if you read your emails, so let's run through what a lot of people do on the beginning of a day. They might wake up, roll over, grab their mobile phone, read their emails, and then they think, oh, I'll reply to that when I get back in, when I get back into when I get back into the office, or when I get to the computer, that's when I'm going to respond to my emails. And that's a really important thing to consider, right? Is if we're gonna go in and we're gonna do that email when we get to the computer or get to the office, why do we do it that way? Going back to when did you set up your systems and processes and how could it be better or more efficient? Talking to your device will help you to write the content quicker. The same as people struggle to write blogs. I'm like, can you explain to someone how to do it? Yes. If you can explain it to them, you can explain it to your phone. If you can explain it to your phone can write the content for you. Imagine having that PA in your pocket that you don't even have to pay. They're a free member of your team. Your mobile phone is a core tool within your business that you probably underutilize. Now, I laugh about this because, like, for us, it's crazy. When I got set up this morning, we've actually got 4 Samsung Note 9s on the side just because we have so much kit that we use. And I actually had to turn them on and they're all the same color, and I had to check that I had the right ones for the right tools and the right tasks, because everything got taken down and put on charge last night. But they are like extra team members, when you understand how you can utilize them. Alex Shrimpton, love this. Love this content. It's like a PA in your pocket. Absolutely. So Ella's saying over here on Instagram, loving the dictation idea. I spend a huge amount of time thinking about my business. If you ever get an idea and you think, oh, I should come back to that later, grab your notes. So I know, as an iPhone user, I'm going to explain to you the process of setting up these streams, actually, because I set up all the streams over on StreamYard for most of the platforms that see it in landscape. But Instagram, you guys are obviously in portrait. We go actually natively live over here. Now, of course, here it's pre-set up and everything's done and written. And yes, I include hashtags, but believe it or not, when you learn how to use the dictation tools, you can actually use hashtags as well. It will slow you down ever so slightly because you have to do the hashtags, stop and restart so that you can carry on. But it is literally a couple of taps in order to do that. So it's learning how to use it. It's like anything. It won't be as efficient when you first start using it, but actually moving your process forward, changing it using those new tools, this is going to massively help you. Now, I'm going to quickly jump over here. There was a quick question. Is there one place you can store all these little tasks across all the different platforms? So yes, interconnectivity is really important, and I'm going to show you one process that I use, and you can do this in a couple of different ways. I'm going to run you through two processes that you could use to do this. So I have my list of all the things that we're going to talk about. So I might go into either Google Docs or Notes. So I use Notes on my iPhone because I'm using a Mac and I'm using an iPhone, so I can use Notes on there. I've also got dictation enabled on my computer, so I don't even have to just do it on my phone. I have a podcast mic and I can talk into that and write my emails and write my web pages that way. But I write that content and then I can copy and paste it and send it through Messenger or WhatsApp or whatever I need to get it to the other device. So the titles that you guys see on Instagram and on IGTV have been created somewhere else, and then they've been copied and pasted across via a Messenger app, or because they're on Notes, they can go straight across to the other phones. Obviously, I'm on Android, so they don't sync that way. So I use Messenger and I send it. Did you know? Good place to keep notes, good place to keep track of stuff. Did you know that on Messenger you can message yourself? No, if you didn't, it's a great place to keep track of things you want to go back and revisit later. Nobody else needs to see it. You don't need to send it to someone in order to get there. It's a great place for bookmarking stuff that you want to come back to later. If you see it, hit share, send in Messenger, send to yourself, and you've created yourself a reading list to come back to later. Once you go to that, you can swipe down or get it to read it to you, and that will save you loads of time. It's there, native in the platform, and you can get that process going. Now, that whole conversation about moving it across, let's make it absolutely universal. If you use Google, or if you've got a Google account or you're using G Suite, you can use Docs, so which is the equivalent of Microsoft Word. It's Google's version of Microsoft Word, so it's a word processing document. And you can open up that, you can use your dictation, your voice to text, and then you can talk to the device. And because it's in the cloud, it's accessible from all of your devices. All you have to do is be logged in. Now, we use G Suite, massive, massive productivity suite. Most people think that G Suite is about the emails and things like that, but it's actually so much more than that. There's so much that can increase your productivity using G Suite. So your emails, it's unlimited cloud storage, it's all of the Office suite that they have, which means every time that I go to speak at a conference or an event, I can give access to the people that are running the event so they can see it. They can actually watch me putting the slide deck together, and they can give me feedback. And it also means I don't need to take a device. Like, I can log into any device. Have you ever seen someone arrive at a conference and maybe they've got a MacBook and there's no connector, and then they have to work out how they're going to put it on a USB and move it to another computer? If you do it in the cloud, it removes all of that friction. So using cloud-based storage is going to help you massively. Again, a productivity tool where you can work together on things. So not only if you created a Word document and you had to send it backwards and forwards, using the Docs functionality within G Suite, Louisa and I managed to put together a tender for a local council in the space of just one evening, because we dropped in all the things that needed doing, all the questions, all the answering that we needed to do, and then we both worked collaboratively. I worked from the top, she worked from the bottom of the document, and we just powered through it, working live on the document at the same time. We could also leave each other notes to say, jump in here, I need an answer to this, or highlighting it so that we could see that the other person had how to do something. So collaboration is going to be key, whether they're internal or external to the outside of your business. It's important to make sure that you're using the tools that are available to you. I'm going to address a thing that John Kellett has just dropped over here on Facebook. So spoken English cannot be as precise as written English. As a professional, I need to be precise. So John, here's the thing. Sitting down to write it with an average typing speed of 40 words per minute is going to be obviously way slower than speaking at 100 to 120 words a minute. Yes, there'll be a margin of error, and yes, it might not be quite as precise. When you understand and learn how to use the tools, it's not just about relying on it in its own essence. You might type using your voice and then just do the minor corrections to it. Everything that you think about how so let me roll back for a second. When you think about sitting down to write that content and you've already got a block in your mind to say, using my voice can't be as accurate, your thought process for speaking words is the same as your thought process for writing those words. Most people don't think about it and articulate well, which is where you might come to a problem of thinking that the spoken English cannot be as precise as the written English. I challenge you today to go and read a blog on anything to do with content creation on itsnomad9.com. All of the content written on our website is written by spoken word. Unless we're looking at technical things or reporting on things like Facebook, it is from the spoken word. In the same way, from Breakfast and Business, we break these down and turn them into blogs. The content creation machine that we've built at It's Nomad 9 allows us and allows our clients to create massive amounts of content in barely any time at all. Imagine spending 30 minutes creating videos and getting 230 viewpoints across social media, across blogs, across status updates, across graphics, across video, and being able to get that amount of content in that amount of time. Because it is possible, because we know we do it for ourselves and we do it for our clients. In fact, we go that little step further in showing people how they can do it for themselves. We run a workshop called Startup to Scale Up. So whether you're starting up or scaling up, there's a way to improve your content creation. John Kellett's saying about as a professional, you need to be precise, right? I talk at nearly 200 words a minute. So think about the process of how inaccurate it might be because of the speed I'm speaking at. It's about the tools. For me, this piece of kit is one of the most important tools in my arsenal for creating good content using my voice. Why do I say that? Because the better the quality of your audio, the more accurate the written words will be that you speak. You have to articulate well and you have to think through your process. Yes, there will be small things that you will need to change and some amendments and corrections that you need to put in place, but you 100% can use voice to text to create more effectively and more efficiently. John Kellett, I'm going to challenge you. Come and join us on Saturday and let me run you through the process. Come with an open mind. Breakfast and Business is about either reminding you of something you know and encouraging you to put it into practice and giving you that little nudge, or bringing you something brand new. If you haven't run through the process that we use, how do you know that you've got the most efficient process at the moment? There are a few things that you need to be aware of when you're using voice to text. You can teach it, you can train it, and there'll be certain things that maybe are acronyms or things like that that maybe you need to go and manually enter. But when you understand how to improve your process, it's important that you can go and you can use part of this and part of something else. It's about increasing the productivity in a way that works for you. So using your voice to text will increase your productivity massively. I can't wait to see how you guys all do on Saturday. So really, really important that you understand that you can use your voice to text, you can collaboratively work on the documents. So using stuff like G Suite, one of our favorite productivity suites, hence G Suite. It's not just an individual tool, it's a range of tools that we use. It's important that we're showing you exactly how this works. In the same way I demonstrated live on the screen how you could dictate to your phone and it would write the words out, it's important to understand that it can work. John, I'm challenging you. You're saying you're doubtful, but you will give it a try. Like anything, you cannot write something off unless you give it a try. So be open-minded to it. Don't go into it. Monday started with mindset, because without the right mindset, you will instantly disregard things. So we want to encourage you to be open to finding new ways to do things. You can only improve processes when you're looking at them again and again and again, and you're open to finding new ways to do it, in embracing change and new technology. So really excited, John, to show you how that process works. And I'm more than happy to jump on a call, and if you're stuck with any of it, help you understand the real power that comes from using the tools effectively and efficiently. Chantel's talking to Rachel here. It's now walk, talk, and practice Tristan's lesson. So yeah, absolutely. This is the beauty. If you want to go out, get some exercise. Sally Ann normally is out running, listening. So she's being efficient with listening whilst running. Going for a walk, you could use it the other way and use your voice to narrate your notes, write your emails, write that report, or at least get your first draft done and put that in practice. Ella over here, totally agree with what you're saying, Tristan, about using voice to text, speaking as a former teacher. So a good teacher over here talking about it. We use the voice in our heads to write words. So why can't we here we go. We use a voice in our heads to initiate ideas, so why not vocalize them first? You're vocalizing them from your brain through your hands into typing or writing, so why can't you use your voice to do the same thing? In the same way that professional public speakers train to remove the ums, ahs, pauses, and to articulate better, the same applies to you here. Think about how much better your presenting skills will become when you use voice to text. It's not only about the productivity within the content creation, the email writing, the blog writing, the report writing, the responding on social media, but you can actually improve your articulation and your presentation skills. The better you articulate, the better you will come across when you speak to people. You'll notice that I take pauses. Yes, I speak fast, but I have active pauses in what I'm saying. Firstly, it makes it easier for us to reuse and repurpose the content. So there's an example. If I stumble a word, it doesn't matter, John. For example, that I've stumbled a word, reuse, repurpose, I just stop, take a breath, carry on. Now, when I came to this, if it was in written form, all I do is lift out the chunk that's wrong, delete that, and now we're back on track. So it's about understanding how to utilize the technology that we're talking about. Absolutely crucial that you understand that these tools are here to help. So first one we talked about was using text to voice. Swipe down on an iPhone, you can select and get it spoken to you as well, similar to what we just did. Use that time. So bookmark and come back to it. Unless it's super important, if it's something that you just need to read or consume, bookmark it. And you can either use the bookmarks tool, the save within the platforms, or send it to yourself, either in WhatsApp or Messenger. So you've got a reading list to go back to later. Then get it read to you whilst you're doing a mundane task. You might be walking, you might be doing the washing up, the laundry, hoovering the house, stick some headphones in and away you go. In fact, I'm going to give a shout to Billy Whiffin, who's just invested in some waterproof earbuds. Same as me, I talked about this on a live the other day. I could literally be in the pool or in the shower listening back to the pages that I've bookmarked. So it's really increasing the productivity level. So you can do it whilst you're doing so many different tasks. So you have to be open to this idea about how you can increase your productivity. So that's just one of the tools. The other one, using your voice, so voice to text, flipping it on its head and doing that, that's another thing you can do. Using the G Suite account so that we can do that. You can have a free Google account and have access to Google Drive and Google Docs, so you don't even have to have a paid account. Now, highly recommend the business accounts for a number of reasons. I'll deep dive those a little bit later. But it is an important process to set up how you do this. So tomorrow we're talking about repurposing, and on Friday we're talking about better processes. So if you want to know how to do this, Friday is all about the processes. Think about the fact you've had a PA in your pocket and you've never gone back and used it. It'd be like having an employee that's there waiting to help you and you never utilizing them, because that's what's been happening. If you're not using all the tools within the devices that you've invested in, they're not cheap devices, utilize the tools that they offer you. A lot of people just have never discovered them. You can also screenshot your screen. And if you love Dropbox, it will sync the screenshots automatically. So here's an even better process than that. So getting platform agnostic, I'm using Google Photos. Because I use G Suite, because we use the storage, we have that unlimited cloud storage, using Google Photos allows us to do exactly that sort of process. Thanks for your input, everyone, over on Instagram and on Facebook. The process of creating content, right? I've said it's quicker for you to use your voice than it is to stop and type. Especially if you're doing it on your mobile phone, two hands, it's a little bit slower generally anyway. Here's a process for creating content. If you narrate something into your notes, right? You could literally, and Gary Vee is a really good example of how to do this. It could be a tweet, it could be in your notes. You could literally narrate something into your phone, have it on screen just like I showed you, the PA in your pocket. In fact, it's hilarious that you guys say this, because if I go straight in here, straight into my photos, this is actually in my photo camera roll. Why? Because when I narrated it to you guys, the text that we had on screen, if you look, I'm actually in my camera roll. I took a screenshot of this. Why would I do that? Because I can screenshot it and then I can go in and use it as a piece of social content. If I want to promote this live stream, I can put that quote, that notes document and post it out. That means I could actually use it as a piece of social content. If you really want to do a massive productivity hack for creating content, let me show you one even better way to do this. So let's go into notes. So I'm going to use dictation and I'm going to use another tool at the same time. So this is going to be a little bit interesting. I've not used this process for a little while. So let's go. So again, depends on your device. You might need a tool or an application for this, but on my iPhone, I can just record my screen. So you'll see that it will start recording. So I have a little red, let's come back up here, but a little red bar comes up at the top there on Instagram. So what we're doing is we're currently recording. Then I'm going to open my notes section into a new note. So all I've done is open that. And then I'm going to dictate what I was going to say in there. So here we go. Imagine having a smartphone in your pocket that is like a PA that you don't have to pay for. Full stop. New paragraph. If you're not utilizing the tools, comma, you are not giving yourself the best opportunity to increase your productivity. Full stop. So what I've now done, so I'm going to stop that screen recording. Now, obviously, I ran that for a couple of seconds before. Watch this. This is absolutely incredible. So let's go. Ella's asking, can I publish the quote today on my socials? Yes, watch my Twitter. Go and connect with me on Twitter. I'm TristanG. So twitter.com/ImTristanG. Now, I've obviously recorded that as a piece of content. It's going to come up with a little bit of a bit at the beginning. So I'm going to quickly crop that now, and then I'll show you that I've just created multiple pieces of content. Not only did I write my content using my voice, I also created a piece of video content that could go out on social. Let's go there. Just grab the beginning and end in for you, and then I'm going to show you really quickly. Done. So literally, I've just quickly edited and cropped that video. So literally camera roll, very quickly there, camera roll. And then I'm going to select the last one, which is a 30-second video. And you'll see I've actually created a piece of content that shows me using voice to text. So I've now created a written piece that I could put on my blog. I've created a video. And like I said, Ella's just challenged me to put the picture out on my social. I've created a screenshot. Now, the beauty is I have Google Photos set up on my phone. So whilst we are still talking, that content is uploading into Google Photos. I could put it into Google Drive if I want to organize it in a new way. Google Photos is a productivity hack in itself. Firstly, it backs up your photos and videos from your device. So if you've done a Facebook Live and downloaded it to your phone, for example, it will automatically back up to Google Photos. So that means you don't have to do it. It's like, again, it's like a PA. It allows you to do that without having to go and do it yourself. Now, it also gives you some search functionality powered by Google Search. You can go in and you can utilize that search to find things. You can search by people. So if you've tagged people within Google Photos, you'll be able to go back and find them. You can search by geolocation if you've got them turned on. And you can even search by what's in the photo. Google's worked really hard on identifying what's inside of photos. And in fact, let's explain something here. Have you ever done a captcha on a form where it says, you know, click on the pictures that have zebra crossings or lights in? What you're doing is actually providing more data for photo identification. Every time you complete a captcha form, it creates more data that can answer whether or not something is in a photo. So thank you so much for the hard work that you guys have done every time you've been filling in a form, because it makes the processes and tools that we use in day-to-day life to speed up the process, right? Someone's saying sound has gone. Sound is back. Let's quickly go back. Rachel said, is there much difference between Android and iPhone? When you're using your voice to text, it's different. On an iPhone, it's natively working within your device and therefore it learns and gets better. With Android, so the Google equivalent, it's actually doing it cloud-based, so it's better to start with, but doesn't get comparatively doesn't get as much better. So be aware that there's differences. I tend to use my iPhone for my narration, dictation, and all that kind of stuff. So keep an eye on how you use it. You might actually find that, so here's an idea. If you want a PA in your pocket that's super efficient, getting a new, better smartphone could be a really wise investment for your business because you pay for it once. And as long as you're properly utilizing it, it's working really hard for you. I need to find a tool for Android. For my Samsung Note 8 doesn't have it natively. I can help you with that because we've actually got it. So let me know which part of the process you need a tool for, and let's try and get you the help today. Drop me a DM over on Instagram afterwards and let's get you the help that you want today. So yeah, really important. If you're on Facebook, someone said there's an audio issue. I'm not sure what's happened there, but I know there are people there who are confirming that the sound is still running fine. So let's quickly recap on the things we talked about. Use your voice to narrate. It's like a PA in your pocket, that smart device, using the accessibility tools. Use speech to text. Then you also use text to speech to get it read back to you. That's your own content. So you can listen. Did it sound right? Did it sound okay? Because remember, things like Google Home and Alexa are reading your web page. One for John here, they're reading your web page the same as you're saying it. So if you don't use native spoken word and you try to get really clever about it, when it's read back, it doesn't read as well back through Google Homes and Alexas, and people are using those as productivity hacks. If anyone's having issues with sound, you can jump to Facebook. It's been confirmed as okay, and Instagram is definitely running okay. I've got confirmation over here that the audio is all running fine. So here's the thing. Speech to text, text to speech, those two tools are going to make a massive difference. Your smartphone is like a free PA in your pocket. You just haven't been utilizing it as effectively as you could. When you use those things, think about how you can be even more productive. I just created a video, a screenshot, which is obviously a piece of text that I could put out. I've also then demonstrated to you here. So I've been creating multiple pieces of content, again, going back to it by documenting, not creating. This will also become a blog. We'll include the screenshots and the video content into that. And now we've created another piece of content all at the same time. So super, super powerful stuff. Now, I could talk all day about productivity. It's literally one of the topics that I speak from stages and at conferences and networking's all about. But I don't think I can do justice in Breakfast and Business to doing it. I've made this a longer one to make sure that you guys really see how this works and understand utilizing the tools and how you just need to be open. I've explained to you about having the mindset for it and planning for it, but then you need the tools in place. It depends what you're trying to achieve, but the things I've showed you today apply to every single business. Everybody is writing emails or responding to social media. Everybody is writing reports or creating web pages. So we're creating all the same types of content. The content within it and the knowledge and expertise is in your brain. Let's articulate it well. Let's use the tools and let's be more productive creating that content. If you've loved this, remember, get involved, use the tools on the platform. If you're Facebook, it's reactions. If you're YouTube, it's the thumbs up. If you're on Periscope or Instagram, it's the little heart in the corner to let me know that you're following along, that it makes sense. Use the tools within the platform. Or here's the one that we always use: drop red, yellow or orange emojis in the comments, whatever ones you want. Red, yellow or orange just makes it super visual for me that you followed along, that this makes sense and that you're understanding what I'm saying, and that you're getting value from it. Every week we're now creating an event on Facebook and an event over on LinkedIn. So you can go to LinkedIn or Facebook and search for the hashtag breakfast and business. Go and find the event and invite 3 people. If you've had value from this, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with other people. Massive shout to Rachel for tagging a few people in. And Ella's been telling people as well over here on Instagram. So keep sharing with people about this. It's completely free. It's usually half an hour, slightly longer today. So thank you for bearing with us today as we've gone through a little bit more in a little bit more depth today. It's 30 minutes a day, Monday through Saturday, sometimes a little bit longer, but you can go back and you can create, you can go back and you can catch up on the videos that we've done in the past. You've got IGTV for you guys on Instagram. For you guys watching anywhere else, it sits natively where you're watching it. The only place other than that is obviously Periscope. For Twitter, you'd need to jump into Periscope and the whole channel is there. So you can go back, you can recap on all these breakfast and business. We're slowly turning these into other content, so into blogs and social updates. So you're no doubt going to see over the next few months this content reused, repurposed and put out, which tomorrow is the hot topic, is repurposing your content to make it work. Love the idea for blogs. I don't find the time to blog now. I've got an idea of how to do it. Ella told you how to get here. Brilliant to have you here on the broadcast. Thank you so much. Also, let me know, everyone, whilst you're tuned in, let me know how you found Breakfast and Business. How did you get here? Really important for me to track and measure how you heard, how you came to be here. Great to see that Ella shared and you're in here for that. I saw somebody in on Facebook who Rachel had told about it. So let me know how you got back in into the broadcast and how you first found Breakfast to Business, not specifically today, but moving forwards. I'm actually looking at bringing back the Startup to Scale Up events, which is like a 6-hour workshop that goes through everything that we do for the content creation machine. If you think the stuff we're talking about today is powerful, type Startup to Scale Up or workshop down in the comments and I'll send you some details when we release that event. We have had some people request for an actual physical event. Obviously there's restrictions in place at the moment, so if we do, we'll be super careful with socially distancing it. We've been talking to a local venue in Derbyshire about the facility that they've got. They've got massive space that they are potentially opening to be able to have socially distanced events. If it does go ahead as a physical event, you'll have the opportunity to be there in the room and ask your questions. Otherwise, we can deliver the whole thing digitally. We've done it before and we'll do it again. If you want to know more about that, please type the word workshop down in the comments and I'll send you over details of that workshop as soon as anything is confirmed. I'll put you on a list so that we can keep you updated and let you know as soon as that happens. So the word workshop in comments if you want to know and you want to join that. It's like a 6-hour workshop. It breaks down every element and the stages that we use as a process to run you through how to create content at scale. So whether you're starting out and need to scale from nothing, or whether you've already got an established social media presence and you're blogging and creating content yourself already, but you want to scale it up, we'll run you through that in a space of 6 hours and show you exactly how to make yourself super, super efficient. So for some people, it'll need to be live streamed. For other people, they might want to be in the room. If we do the physical thing, we'll also make it available digitally as well. So people will be able to be in the room or not. Obviously, in the room, it completely changes things. Trust me, we've run this workshop in 4 different locations and we've got a really strong community of people off the back of it who've changed how they do content. They've gained some amazing results. They've put out more content than they've ever put out before. So I really want to empower you guys with that as well. Thank you so much for hanging out for a little bit longer today. Only scratching the surface with the tools. I couldn't do it justice, even if we spent 2 hours here to give you all the tools that we use. That if there's something specific you want to achieve, please do reach out to me. You can find me as ImTristanG across all the socials. Wherever you're connecting, watching this now, reach out to me through that platform or your favorite platform. Find me as ImTristanG. I'll send you the details back to you via voice notes, via messages, via little recordings, via blogs that are useful. But I want to help you to find the tools that will help you the most. There's so many of them. I couldn't do it justice literally, if I spent the whole day on live, I wouldn't be able to do it justice. So let me know what area you want to increase your productivity, and let me come back to you with the right tool for you. That in itself is a productivity hack. Don't go try work it out. Message me. I'll tell you what the tool is for the job that you are trying to achieve, and I'll send it back to you to save you even the time of having to go and Google and to research it. So take that as a productivity tool. Don't be afraid to ask for help and support from people who are living and breathing about what you want to learn. Thank you all so much for spending time with us for Breakfast and Business today. Like I said, we run Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m, usually half an hour, sometimes a little bit longer. But please do tell other people. There's the events on Facebook and LinkedIn. Go tell 3 people, go and invite people to the events so that they can see what's coming up and what they've missed. Go through on this broadcast, hit the share buttons, tag a friend, but tell them why you're getting them to come across. Tell them why they should come to Breakfast and Business. Get actively involved. Remember, it's not about learning it, it's about putting it into practice. I can only inform and educate you on this. You're the people who have to go and take action on it. I see Ella holding Kavitha accountable over here on Instagram to being able to go and write some new blogs. So exciting to see people supporting one another and encouraging one another. Breakfast and Business is all about that. Bringing ideas that maybe you've had before but need a nudge on and putting you into practice, or maybe it's something brand new that you've never thought about before. Whichever way it is, go and put it into practice. It's all about taking action and implementing. The information is valuable, but the real impact comes when you put it into practice. The implementation is where the real value lies. That sits with you. Go take the information you've learned today, become more productive, put it into practice, implement, and watch what results you get. Be sure to come back and let us know what results those are. We love hearing all of your success stories and celebrating with you. But that's it for today's Breakfast and Business. Thank you so much for tuning in. Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. UK time. Come back. I'll see you guys again at 8 a.m. tomorrow. You can connect with me, ask those questions in messengers, DMs, whatever, as ImTristanG across all the socials. But for now, thank you again for being here for another Breakfast and Business. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. Go out there, be more productive, and I will see you again at 8 a.m. tomorrow.